Welcome back to the channel. I am yours truly, and today we're going to look at the Pac-12 and the last year of its existence for now, um, and do a conference prediction. Yeah, as seen in the news, in the college football news, Pac-12 is hemorrhaging by the day. Uh, we don't even know if the Pac-12 is going to survive 2024 and beyond. So, uh, enough of me rambling about that. If you watch the Big 12 and ACC videos, you know how this is going to go. But in case you haven't, the Pac-12, they did away with divisions last year, and the top two teams played for the championship. So they're sticking with the format this year. Now, as far as me, I'm only going to do the top 7 because if I did all 12 teams, I would have a bigger headache than I would know. And when you get to the bottom of the list, you're basically comparing which trash can is the most shiny. So, anyways, let's predict where these teams are going to finish in 2023 for the Pac-12. Coming in 7th place for the Pac-12 this year is going to be Washington State. Washington State last year had a decent season. They went 6-6 or 7-5, somewhere in that mark, and got beat by Fresno State in the bowl game. I kind of expect the same thing for Washington State. I think they're going to be just a tad bit better on the record sheet than Arizona. Like I said, all schedules are not created equal, even in the Pac-12. Coming in at 6th place for the Pac-12 this year, I think it's going to be UCLA. UCLA had a decent season last year. They went, I think, 8-4, 9-3, somewhere in that mark. I think UCLA probably could have did better with better quarterback play because I was not really a big fan of DTR. DTR was hot when he was hot, but he was cold when he was cold. You get what I'm saying. And UCLA this year is going to have to break in a new quarterback. This year's, like last year, is going to be highly competitive in the Pac-12. So it's not me saying that UCLA is going to be terrible. It's just, it's going to be very competitive in the Pac-12 this year, just like it was last year. Coming in 5th place for the Pac-12 is going to be Oregon State. Now, Oregon State last year had probably one of their best years in recent memory, as they went 9-3 in the regular season. Probably could have won more games than just 9 games. They lost a couple of close games in the season. But anyways, they went 10-3 with a bowl win, so it was a great season for Oregon State, and I think they're gonna have another great season this year. Unfortunately for Oregon State, I think they're gonna fall just short of being in the running of the Pac-12 this year. Coming in 4th place for the Pac-12 this year is going to be Utah. Reason I say Utah is pretty much dominated the conference, if not coming second as far as the conference each and every year for the last 4 or 5 years. It's not me saying that Utah has gotten bad. It's more me saying that the Pac-12 in itself has caught up and gotten better than when Utah first took over as the I guess the champion of the Pac-12 or flag bearer for the Pac-12. So yeah, I think Utah will finish 4th in the regular season standings. Coming in at 3rd for the Pac-12 is going to be Oregon. I think Oregon this year is going to have another good season like they did last year. I just think Oregon's just going to come up a hair short of making it to the the Pac-12 championship game, either through a tiebreaker or one game short. It's going to be close as far as them making it into the Pac-12 title game. So. And it's not a knock on Oregon at all. It's just the Pac-12 in itself it's at its best right now in a little while. We're coming in at 2nd for the Pac-12 is going to be Washington. Uh, the reason I have them in second is you could pretty much flip flop between Washington and Oregon. They're pretty close to each other as far as the talent and the production. I just gave the slight advantage to Washington because their offensive staff, their quarterback comes back. Oregon lost their offensive coordinator, and I mean, and plus this game is going between Oregon and Washington is going to be played in Washington this year. So I mean, it's 50-50 between Oregon and Washington as far as this number 2 spot, but I think it's going to be Washington. And the winner of the regular season standings for the Pac-12 is going to be USC. No surprise there. Yeah, Lincoln Riley's an offensive genius. Plus Caleb Williams comes back for USC, so there's no surprise there. The only question for USC is going to be their defense. Will the defense improve at all? And that wraps up the 2023 Pac-12 Conference prediction. Now, with a little bit of notes I have, this was probably the easiest to do as far as like naming the top half dozen teams in the conference. But unlike with the Big 12, this one was the hardest as far as putting them in order to figure out which one is the best versus which one was the worst, 6 or 7. I mean, USC has the advantage, but really, you can make an argument for 2 through 6 on why 6 should be at 2 or 2 should be at 6. You get what I'm saying. You can make an argument for that. So, anyways, if you like the video, consider leaving a like on the video. It does help out the channel and not grow the channel, but helps reach out to more people and more recommended people's section. And if you like the content that I produce, consider subscribing to the channel. I'll greatly appreciate your support, your subscription, or your subscriptions, I guess you would call it. I don't like to say it that way because when you hear subscription, it's like you're paying for something. No, I appreciate everybody that subscribes to the channel. I appreciate everybody that likes the videos. I thank everybody here that tunes in when I post videos each and every day. I do appreciate everybody that tunes in and watches the videos out of their busy lives. So, coming from a channel this size, our goals is to be one of the big YouTubers when it comes to college football on a shoestring budget. I mean that in a joking manner and right now in a literal manner, as we're one of the smallest channels probably in YouTube right now. So I do appreciate everybody that comes by and or watches videos, likes the videos, and hits the subscribe button. Excuse me, man, I can't talk today. So anyways, I'll see y'all next time.